Good afternoon from Toruń. In 1587, a cycle of panegyrics entitled Psalma przyjazdu szczęśliwego Najjaśniejszego Zygmunta III z łaski Bożej Króla Polskiego i Wielkiego Księcia Litewskiego, in English, Songs of the Happy Arrival of the Most Serene Sigismund III by the Grace of God, King of Poland and Grand Duke of Lithuania, was published in Krakow, with which the author celebrated the coronation of the first of the Vasa dynasty as ruler of the Polish-Lithuania Commonwealth. This collection consists of 6 poems in Polish and 1 in Latin in honor of the new king. Although the story of the election and installation of Sigismund III to the throne of the subject of many was the subject of many texts in 16th century Polish writing, the Psalma is one of the first to appear in print. Listed as the author of the collection on the title page is IAK, identified as Jan Achacy Kmita. Psalma is considered to be his literary debut. In the history of Polish literature, he is regarded as a poet of not very great talent, and today his works are known mainly to specialists, scholars of old literature and language. We have little information about his life. He was born around 1560, and his young days he took part in King Batory's military expedition in Livonia. Owing to his studies at the Academy in Krakow, Kmita had knowledge of literature, Latin and Italian. Kmita's literary output is vast and consists of original works, adaptation and translation of other pieces. But Kmita's first known published work is the Psalma, a collection of panegyrics drawing on the tradition of ancient literature, the Polish Renaissance and the Italian Renaissance. Literary scholars point out that the literary value of this collection is not very high, but it contains several attention-getting elements of some originality and historical documentary value. The first of these is the title. The word Psalma did not exist in Polish before Kmita, nor did it take hold later. It is known only from this collection and was used only on the title page. Its interpretation is difficult even for Polish researchers. Some treating it as a typical Polish feminine noun in the singular. Others consider it as a plural noun. For us, in the department of the Dictionary of the 16th century Polish language, it's a plural noun, which means collection of psalms or just psalms. In Polish literature of the 16th century, a psalm only refers to a religious songs found in the Bible. In Kmita's work, the term appears to describe songs, prayers of thanksgiving addressed to God like the biblical psalms, but dedicated to a newly elected king. This brings them closer to the so-called royal psalms in the Book of Psalms, which, however, are not dedicated to a specific king, but speak of the qualities of an ideal ruler or constitute praise of God as a ruler. The title page is complemented by 2 Latin distichs, the first of which combines the elaborate form of patagram with content carrying a good omen for the newly elected king and his kingdom. The alliteration used by Kmita highlights the occasion. It's based on a family of Latin words, rex, regum, regere, which means king, kingdom, and to reign. The second distich is titled The Distich Expressing of Year of the King's Arrival. The capital letters in the text, which are at the same time Roman numeral signs, add up to form the number 1588. In fact, the coronation took place in the previous year on December 27, 1587. However, such a mistake by Kmita is fully justified. In the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, there was an armed conflict between the supporters of two counter-elects, and although it seemed unlikely that diplomatic negotiation with Sweden related to the sitting of Sigismund Vasa on the Polish throne would end by the end of 1587. The back of the title page is occupied by a dedication to Albrecht Łaski. It is clear that this dedication was related to the role played by Łaski in bringing Sigismund Vasa safely to besieged Krakow in November of 1587. Using his military talent, he managed to stop the more numerous forces of counter-elect Maximilian Habsburg from capturing Sigismund. Later, Łaski made it possible for the contact of the Swedish prince to reach Krakow by tidying up the troops sent against him. The panegyric cycle itself consists of 6 Polish works, each of which has a different form, and they also different in length. Each is titled Song, in Polish Pieśń, and numbered with the Roman numeral from 1 to 6. Similar to Jan Kochanowski's model works published in a volume titled Songs. The praises included in this work represent standard expression of admiration for the ruler. Kmita uses a set of ancient topoi imitating, among others, the hymns in honor of Roman emperors. The king's primary feature is his exceptional bravery. As we read in Song 5, "Get on your horse, King Invincible, strap on your sword, ride bravely to your enemy." The relatively young age of Sigismund, however, makes this bravery mainly a potential value. Song 1 speaks of a great king and then becomes not only a prayer to God for the blessing in battle, but also a kind of educational support for this great king. "O God, teach his fingers to lead a successful battle. Make the enemy under his feet fall like a fierce lion." It is hard to resist the impression that more admiration is intended for the enemy. Sigismund Vasa was not well known in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. His candidacy appeared relatively late in the election after the death of Stefan Batory. But he had a widely known advantage. He was the son of a Polish princess and the grandson of a Polish king. Among the nobility, ancestral affiliation was the most important advantage. A series of ancestors who were considered to possess great virtue was the best testimony for a descendant. That is why Kmita refers to Sigismund's descent several times in his praises. "Happiness to the descendant of Jagiello the Holy. Glory to God that we were born in this time where the Holy Jagiellonian family was restored to us." At the same time, Sigismund's paternal family is also praised. This is the king from the kings of the noble kingdom of Sweden, Sigismund III, son of John III. A typical component of praise in panegyrics in honor of rulers is also the joy they bring with their rule. In Kmita's work, so typical for the Psalms, singing becomes the expression of joy. "Sing a new mighty song to the Sarmatian monarch. Sing Lithuania, sing Poland, sing also you strong northern countries," as we read in Song 3. Although Kmita panegyrics are not original in their praise, the Psalma collection is notable for its formal diversity. Each piece is different, with different verse lengths and stanza formats. We find here more elaborate epic meters as well as shorter lyrical meters. Kmita makes use of ancient and native patterns. The influence of Jan Kochanowski in particular is easy to see. Jan Ślaski points out, for example, the strophe is known from the poetry of Jan Kochanowski, consisting of 2-syllable lines and 2 11-syllable lines, like here at the slide. One of the few known facts from Kmita's biography is that he began studying at the Krakow Academy precisely in 1587, the year of the election of Sigismund III. Panegyrics in honor of the newly elected king indicated his literary passion. Speaking of Italian influences on Kmita's work, Jan Ślaski drew particularly attention to Song 2, one of the oldest sonnets known in the history of Polish literature, written on the model of Petrarca's sonnets, like here. Kmita is not appreciated by literary scholars for his poetic talents. The Polish literary bibliography describes him as a rhyme writer, when Kochanowski is called a poet. The Psalma itself is described by Jacek Sokolski as a collection of rather lame songs, but it has its importance as one of the first works in Polish literature dedicated to Sigismund III. Even if the praises with which Kmita described the newly arrived king do not go beyond the circle of praise typically used in panegyrics in antiquity. What is also worth noting is the formal diversity of this collection. It can be assumed that it is a kind of student apprenticeship, so the dexterity in the application of the chosen patterns may deserve admiration. Although the poems are characterized by rhythmic monotony and triviality of metaphors, their accuracy and conformity to the spirit of the era should be appreciated. Thank you.